Welcome back to Newsday. And at the start of this show, we told you about today's release from custody of Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, the younger brother of the British monarch King Charles III, who was arrested on Thursday by the police on suspicion of sharing confidential state information with the disgraced American financier, the late Jeffrey Epstein. Now, Andrew, who has been stripped by King Charles of his royal title of prince, as the monarchy sought to distance itself from the growing scandal, was said to have committed the offense in his capacity as UK's trade envoy at the time. Now, with his future with the royal family now considered of no influence, what could be the monarchy's best way to deal with Andrew and his Epstein links going forward? Here to talk about all of this is Arise News analyst Dayo Sobowale, who joins us now to discuss this. And I think, Mr. Sobowale, thank you for joining us, first of all. But we can start with that question. I mean, how does the royal family even deal with something of this magnitude, even though he's no longer officially a prince?
Well, the king has spoken, and they have said it's like they are distancing the monarchy, from whatever happens to the disgraced prince. And in a way, that is just being cautious. But you see, the British monarchy has always been the bedrock of political stability in Britain. It is non-partisan. They say prime ministers come and go, but the British monarchy remains. When I was in school, early political science class, we were taught that with the queen there, the royal in Buckingham Palace, every Briton sleeps well in his bed. I think that still holds to a large extent. They did a poll recently, and they said 66% of people over 35 still regard the royalty as necessary. The younger ones, of course, think they should just go away. But you see, the monarchy has weathered many storms. First of all, there was the divorce of Charles. And many thought he would not be king. But even then, before Charles, they had a bigger one. The elder brother of late Queen Elizabeth was king, and he fell in love with an American socialite. And he told them he would rather give away the throne and marry his sweetheart, and he did that. So the father of the queen succeeded him, and the queen succeeded the father because there was a male preference, male primogeniture preference. If the dad had had a son there, the son would not have been queen. But this wayward prince now is an embarrassment to the royal family. But you see, I want to look at it from a cultural perspective. There's a raging war in the US between Trump and the right and the left, led by Biden. Remember the woke culture, the gender issue, abortion, and all that is still raging. But unfortunately for the progressive side, Trump won another election and is trying to undo all what the Biden administration had done in that regard. That crawled over to Britain too. The present Labour government was elected on this woke perspective. But it's finding it tough now because immigration is getting worse to control. So it's like it's reneging on almost every other thing he has promised to do for the British people. And even in court of recent, it was the Supreme Court that ruled that marriage is between the man and the woman. He has said gender women are women. But now he said that is the law then. But now when the Supreme Court ruled now, he said that is right. So there is a cultural perspective crisis across both nations, and they are cousins. See, the Americans got their independence by fighting a British king, but they regard themselves as culturally the same thing, even though modernity is dividing them now. So in a way, the king has handled it well. He has distanced himself from the disgrace, and he said, but he's still for all of them. I almost have some sympathy for them. You know, we are colonial subject. We don't like that. Whether we like it, see the way we address now. It's not our fault. So I still have some empathy for the British monarchy. I think they will weather the storm, although I know there are some dangers around. Let's leave it like that for now.
Mr. Sobowale, let's take you up on that last statement. You said some dangers around. Do you care to touch on that?
Yes, you have no patience. But I will go to that. You see, Britain became a multicultural society in which they welcome colonial subjects. They made them British citizens. Even when we were young, Nigerians were going to study in Britain like British citizens. But that was when the British had ample resources. Now, the resources are not to maintain the welfare state, are not forthcoming. And they made democracy a game of numbers. Now, you see, they are having more Indian English, more Pakistani English, even more than the rest of them. The mayor of London is affecting New York too. The mayor of they are getting fidgety with that. And the indigenous, they are getting fidgety, and they are being called extremists in their own country. That is why there are people like Farage on the standby. If they do the next by-election, a win with the feeble Labour and Conservatives. The Conservatives, led by our own Kemi Badenoch, they are holding to traditional values. The marriage between the man and the woman, and men and women don't use the same toilet, and that men, so-called men, new men, should not be running against innocent young ladies.
Okay,
these are very decisive issues that has affected their culture.
Yeah.
But I don't think they can be potent threat, but I don't think they will affect the regard for the monarchy.
Well, Mr. Sobowale, historically, you've seen how royal privilege has been has shielded the family for a long time, and now with this development, do you still think that Andrew will receive a level of preferential treatment, or do you think that he will go through the legal process regardless?
See, it's on his own. If you follow the story, they didn't tell the monarchy, the police didn't tell the monarchy. Normally, they get clearance. Perhaps they'll tell the prime minister and he has said he will face the law. He will face the law as Mr. Mountbatten Windsor, which are the two titles smashed together, because normally they don't have surnames, because they just they call them prince or dukes and all that. So I think the trial will be very interesting. But see, some legal analysts have said that they can't do much, you see, because they are accusing him of not acting properly in the course of public duty. They say it's always difficult to define what that means. Get me? You see, in Britain, they are careful with their law. In other places, people have taken over democracy, because people at a stage in the US, at the height of globalization, they thought we have reached the end of history, and that the whole world will be ruled by the legacies or the practices of democracy, free trade, free movement of people, all of which Trump has brought down to heart now. Those are affecting things. But in other places, this like in Peru, about 7 presidents have been sent packing because they did what they thought was corruption, because they said moral rectitude is part of what the president must face. And it's the assembly. So there's a lot of instability there, which is what the British enjoy. And the Americans, they use the tenure presidency to stabilize their own economy. But you see that it's swinging left and right, and if the left and right are so divided, there is bound to be collision. They are even suspecting Trump of wanting to elongate his tenure, which is not possible under their system. But that is how it is. Political stability is relative. But in the case of the British, it has been historical and steady. Historical and steady, although there are some cultural divide. For example, I'm Anglican. The head of the Anglican Church is a woman. Can never happen here in Nigeria. You get her. But then part of the progressive politics. Let's leave it at that.
Yes, this will definitely be a story to watch. Mr. Dayo Sobowale, thank you very much for joining us on Newsday.